As he stared at the dilapidated roof, something strange appeared. When he slowly reached out, it started wriggling. The man grabbed it and pulled, and to his surprise, he dug out a big rat. Quickly, a large section of the roof collapsed, and a flood of rats poured out like a torrent, engulfing the man. He struggled in the pile of rats, but the rat demon vanished instantly. It was just a nightmare. The man, Ma-san, was a cemetery caretaker who used his job to rob graves. Cemeteries hide many treasures, with layers of earth covering old tombs. Whether saints, the rich, or commoners, mystery lies beneath. It's all treasure. To creatures like rats, insects, snakes, and ants, these are just food, but to humans, they're rewards. Ma-san had huge gambling debts and had to rely on grave robbing. One day, two young grave robbers targeted the coffin of a 19-year-old girl. But the two of them, as soon as they climbed up, they met the caretaker. Ma-senator, he threatened them with a weapon, demanding the stolen goods. After they fled in panic, Ma-san turned and jumped into the graveyard. He used his pliers to fish out gold teeth. He found half a gold tooth, but dropped it into the coffin. As he reached in to get it, something inside bit his hand. Looking closely, it was a big black rat. Since the cemetery had a rat problem, Ma-san didn't dwell on it and left the half-gold tooth. This meant he had nothing to pay his debt. The creditor warned Ma-san he had 1 week left, or he'd be robbed instead of robbing graves. Maybe it was fate's mercy, but just when Martin was desperate, he got lucky. A wealthy ship captain died and was to be buried in the cemetery. The captain had gold teeth, medals, and a royal sword, priceless treasures. Staring at the loot, Ma-san muttered with a smile, but was caught by the captain's wife. Ma-san quickly explained he worked at the cemetery. He assured her that, as in a hospital, he would do all he could to preserve the captain's dignity. On the burial day, Ma-san handed the shovel to the captain's wife, who lifted it to toss dirt onto the coffin. In a moment, Ma-san took the shovel and dug up the dirt. Soon, the coffin was opened, and Ma-san's excitement was clear, only to find it completely empty. At that moment, a noise came from behind. The rat immortal had reached the body first. Ma-san crawled forward to grab it, but only touched a bloody paw. He hesitated, unsure if he should keep chasing, since going further might mean never getting out. Suddenly, his mind went blank. In a daze, he saw himself locked alive in a dark room by creditors, hammer in hand, nailing himself in. To pay his debts, Ma-san gritted his teeth and decided to risk it all. Staring at the corpse that hadn't gone far, he crawled into the giant rat hole, psyching himself up. Just as the captain's body was within reach, he accidentally triggered a hidden pitfall. How could rats dig so many tunnels? Are they really supernatural? Ma-san skirted around the pit to keep chasing, but a tree root jabbed him right in the forehead. He angrily yanked the tree root with all his strength, but it broke off in his hand. Ma-san was buried alive, but he struggled to crawl out and began praying to the Almighty God.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh darkness! Oh God! Oh God! Never give up.
Ma-san was moving forward when a huge swarm of rats rushed in from behind and overwhelmed him. He raised his weapon and fired. He shot himself in the foot on target. What was even more surprising was that a rat suddenly appeared in the tunnel ahead. He quickly hid, and as he shone his flashlight to look again, the Rat King appeared behind him. He grabbed his weapon and fired at the Rat King, but the Rat King fought back and wounded Ma-san's arm, making his weapon fall. Ma-san didn't have time to think and ran, with the Rat King chasing him. After crawling a short while, Ma-san lost his footing and fell into a dark pit. The fall lasted several seconds, but he landed safely. His flashlight followed, landing on a net bag, and then he realized he was surrounded by corpses. As he screamed in panic, something happened. A turning point. He found a ring among the bones, and it made Ma-san realize he was in a treasure pit full of riches. After the rats ate the corpses, they left the burial treasures, including the royal sword from before, which was here too. The captain's body had long been devoured by rats. After gathering valuables, Ma-san searched for a way out, only to find holes wherever his flashlight shone. A massive cult statue stood inside, sending chills down his spine. Facing the statue was a corpse kneeling in worship, and the gold gemstone necklace on the skeleton's chest caught Ma-san's attention. He figured this must be the cult's sacred relic. Ma-san sighed with relief, thinking fate had finally smiled on him, just as he grabbed the necklace. Suddenly, the half-bodied corpse that had been crawling south, muttering its mind, lunged at him, trying to snatch the loot. Luckily, the legless zombie gave Ma-san a chance to escape. He crawled under a coffin, but the zombie was right on his heels. If he could move the dirt clods above, maybe he could crush the zombie. Just then, a rat's screech echoed. King Rat appeared again. With enemies in front and behind, it seemed Ma-san's days were numbered. King Rat attacked first, pouncing directly on Ma-senator after a fierce struggle. The clods above collapsed, pinning them down. Ma-san survived, but the zombie's hand reached out again, though now it was just a twitching hand, as its remaining half-body was buried under the dirt. This thrilled Ma-san, and he thanked God for saving him. When he picked up his flashlight and shone it down the tunnel, he miraculously saw light at the end. God bless, he found another way out. Ma-san kept thanking God, thinking about the hard road ahead, finally seeing light after escaping hell. But when he reached the end, Ma-san panicked. The light he saw was just a reflection from a coffin's surface. He had crawled into someone else's coffin, with dirt above. This plunged Ma-san into despair. Then, swarms of rats showed up again to join the chaos. They kicked and smashed the flashlight, plunging the tunnel into darkness. With no more light, there was no hope. Soon after, the coffin lid was opened by someone. The two young grave robbers from before appeared. They recognized Ma Sen, the caretaker. As they reached for the gold necklace, Ma Sen's body suddenly moved, startling them. In a blink, a large black rat crawled from Ma Sen's mouth. By then, he had been completely hollowed out by rats.